I can't get over it. Actually, I'm still amazed. I think my friends and family are sick of me talking about it, but one of the first things I noticed, well, IBS, first of all, like it saved my job pretty much. Just that the sensation of not having anything going on in my stomach is so foreign to me. My brain would always consumed with, my stomach and what it was doing. And, if I had to go to the bathroom or pass gas or whatever. And that there was no longer a thing. And it was just so that was amazing. Waking up in the morning and my bones didn't hurt. My joints didn't hurt. I couldn't believe how much energy I had. Just thing after thing just started getting better and better. And I feel amazing. I really do.
Yeah, I've heard that many, many times before, certainly. And it's, that's one of the things that shocked me. I was no longer aware of the fact that I was digesting food. Even when I was on a ketogenic diet, eating all the salads and stuff, I always had the perception, I could tell what was going on in my guts. It was just perceptible, and now it becomes almost imperceptible to where, digestion's pretty much an unnoticeable process for the most part for many people on this. So, you transition to this fully meat-based diet, this carnivore diet. What's the family thinking at this? Because you said you got, 3 kids and, presumably a husband and stuff like that. Do they she's crazy, she's a crazy vegan, now she's crazy carnivore lady? What's the family thinking about this stuff?
My husband is very supportive because he's seen me over the years, go through the different health things and he's whatever works for me, he's behind. He was behind when I went vegan, and he's behind this now. And he probably loves this more because, he's a meat eater, So this is probably a little bit more fun for him. And my 2 oldest are grown and out of the house, and, but they're really supportive too. But they did see me go through the vegan, phase, and now they see this, but they also see how good I feel now. And they saw how terrible I felt before. So they're also really supportive and happy.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, were they ever all on what, sometimes when mom goes on a vegan diet, the whole family does. Was that ever the situation where they're all like, oh, great, tofu turkey again or something like that? I never, I made regular meals for my husband and my son. A couple of times I'd try to get them to try things. Mm-hmm. One time I made tofu scramble, which is supposed to be like scrambled eggs. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no. Yeah, that's how I. So, well, you mentioned, on a vegan diet, eating, 3 meals a day, snacks in between every meal, constantly hungry, constantly eating, constantly thinking about food, difficult prep. How does that contrast to what you're doing today? And what do you eat on a daily basis these days?
I think I must be unusual for a carnivore. I still eat 3 meals a day right now. Mm-hmm. I eat usually 4 scrambled eggs with goat cheese in the morning with a nice big pat of butter on them. For lunch, I bring a couple of hamburger patties. I have a little crock pot that keeps them warm, and I throw some butter in there. So at lunchtime, they're all nice and warm and have melted butter all over them. And dinner is usually either ribeye steak, some more hamburger patties. Usually it's beef every once in a while. I'm trying to do seafood once a week, like salmon or something. Chicken is usually either thighs or drumsticks, but just like everybody else says, I'm not as excited about chicken as I am about beef.
Yeah. I think that it's fair to say most people that do this end up that way. They're kind of chicken, if I got to.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a steak. And so, obviously, you said you went through the 90s, a low-fat craze. You never had a weight problem, so it wasn't it's interesting, because a lot of people will blame a lot of these health issues just on obesity, and you've had health issues despite not dealing with obesity, which is something that I see not infrequently either, that there's more than just obesity affecting things, mm-hmm. particularly when it comes to gut health. So any concerns about, oh my gosh, I'm eating all this fat now, it's going to kill me? What are your thoughts about that?
No, I'm not concerned. I just keep looking at, a lot of the research out there. I love learning about the history of nutrition and kind of where we went off the rails and stuff. So I'm not really concerned about cholesterol and all that. And I feel pretty comfortable with all of those. So
eating 3 meals a day, just kind of standard carnivore stuff. Are you back to running now? Are you back doing that stuff again?
I was for a little bit, but I kind of had a little change of heart of how I want to work out. I still kept thinking, well, maybe the running is, that long, extended, high heart rate. Maybe it's not the greatest for me. So I'm back to weight training. I do a little bit of cardio in the gym. I walk a lot, but I started looking at ideal fitness too. And I think, at my age, especially, I probably should be building muscle.
How do you find that happening? How's that going for you, by the way? I mean, you haven't been carnivore that long, but I mean, are you finding you're having some more success building muscle?
Oh yeah, I'm getting really strong. Like when I was in my 20s, for how little I am, used to be really strong. Like when I'd go in the gym, I'd lift for my size pretty heavy. And I remember always being kind of proud of the fact of being pretty strong for my size. And then, as I got older, I felt like I had trouble lifting a laundry basket, and now it's like coming back. Like I feel like as strong as I did in my 20s, the muscles coming back really nice, and it's been fun. Yeah,
that's a great feeling, and it's a great place to be in, and I think it's like you mentioned, you're postmenopausal female, not a very big person, but it's so incredibly important to get stronger. I see a lot of women in your situation, fast forward 20, 25 years, and they're in the ER with a broken hip because, they haven't, their bone mineral density has decayed and they're just too frail. And so that's good for you for figuring that out. Do you find that do you worry about protein? Because you talked about on a vegan diet, you're trying to, eat enough beans and lentils and other legumes to make up for that. Are you focusing on how much protein you eat daily, or you just kind of eat to appetite at this point?
Yeah, I just eat to appetite. I don't really think about, I'm trying to be higher fat, as best I can understand it, but I'm not really kind of picking it apart or anything. I'm just kind of eating what I feel like eating.
Yeah, I mean, what you're describing or eating, you're probably covering all your protein bases. It's pretty easy to get all the protein you need on a carnivore diet. One, it's more likely to be bioavailable. It's amino acid profile is what we need, in the ratios we need them, and animal products tend to be pretty protein dense for the most part. Have you had any sort of major downsides since switching over to a carnivore diet? Any like negatives that you can think of?
No, not really. I think once or twice, and I don't know if it's like oxalate dumping or whatever, but I had a couple weeks in, my hand like ached really bad. And that was about it. I never had any digestive problems. I know some people they have diarrhea for a little bit. Never had that happen. No, I haven't had any negatives really.
So pretty good overall. And your friend who's the veganite, she's still your friend, but she thinks you're kind of a little bit nutty. How because you're not running, I guess you're not really running much. How do you interact with her now? Do you see her in the neighborhood, or how do you typically see her? And how does this topic come up? Interestingly.
Yeah, she was a little sad. She told me I broke up with her, but we now go to the gym together. She got a membership at the gym. So we work out at the gym together, and we go, do lunch and things like that. So pretty funny. The last time we went out, I think I got a meal, like a steak that came with like vegetables, and she just ordered a salad, and then I gave her all my vegetables and I had my steak.
Yeah, that works out pretty well. I went out with my brother and sister-in-law, and they were vegetarian at the time. Me and my partner were both pretty much carnivore, and the same thing. We ordered the food, and you guys can have the vegetables. We'll eat all the meat, and it worked out pretty well. It was kind of a nice, funny little thing to think about. When you're in the so I mean, at least you guys are working out together, and bravo for her for trying to get stronger. Are you stronger than her? Can you push her around a little bit?
Well, it's funny. We haven't been to the gym in a few weeks. When we first started out, she was actually stronger than me, but she's taller. She's like, I want to say she's like 5'7". I'm 5'2". So she's pretty strong. But I think now she had to take some time off because she had some shoulder problems. So she took some time off. So I think when we get back in the gym, I think I'm going to beat her now.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. Good for you.